Now next we're going to see is what are storage classes in C++. So every variable in a C++ has two features, like what is the type of it and what is the storage class. Type we already know, that is what it is: integer type, float type, character type, or what are the things. And storage classes is what, like whether you are writing that variable in a global variable and or whether you're writing in a local variable. What I mean by that is, storage class contains two different properties of a variable. It means it has some lifetime till where it is going to exist, like a long variable can exist, and scope determines which part of the program can access it. Depending upon the storage classes of a variable, it can divide into two major types. I already talked about that. That is what? Local variable and global variable. Now we're going to see what is local variable and global variable in details. So in local variable is defined inside a function or inside the function body between braces is called as local variable or automatic variable. Its scope is only limited to the function where it is defined. Its simple terms, local variable exists can be accessed only inside a function. It means the life of a local variable ends when the function it exits. So that is within the parenthesis when it is written inside a function, that is what we call its local variable. It has existence till that parenthesis, till that function remains there. For a global variable, if a variable is defined outside all the function, then it is what global variable is. It means everyone can access the global variable. The scope of the global variable is whole program. This means it can be used and change any part of the program after its declaration. Now we're going to see some demo video of this local variable, how to declare a local variable and how to declare a global variable. We already saw local variable, but we didn't name it. Now we're going to see that what are local variables, how to declare local variables, and how to declare global variables. Now let's jump to the VS Code. Now we're going to see the local variable and global variable. Before that, I'll clear the screen. Alright, now let's make another program, that is local variable .cpp. In local variable, we define whatever the variables inside the function only. It means its existence is still where the functions remains active. So local variable. Same thing we want to do. So these are the storage classes. That is, I'm going to write header file #include iostream, and I'll write using namespace std. So, and after that I'll write the main function, that is int main, and I'll write what? I'll write the main function. Now what does local variable means is, let's create a one function, that is a void type, and print num, suppose is a function name we create. Alright, now inside that I'm going to declare one variable, suppose int var equals to 6. Let's say this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to initialize value with var with different numbers, so that will basically, it will update the number, and at the last I'll write cout and I'll print the var is, and that is going to print the var, isn't it? So this is what I have written. Now this var is what? Local variable. Local variable. Alright, and now this is a function of print num. So I have to if I want to access, so what I have to do is I have to call that function. Suppose here, if I do one thing, I do, if I write int var1 equals to 7. Alright, so this var1 is local variable for main function. if I update this var1 here, that is not possible. var1 dot 8, if I do, this is going to give error. You can see that it is not, it is red line is also coming. It means it is going to give error because this var1 is not declared within this scope. Only var of integer type is declared. Same thing if I write here, if I want to update var here, suppose I want to update var equals to 89, that is also not going to happen. You see another red mark is coming. It means I have to comment this line and I have to comment this line. It means within the scope those vars have the validity, right? Now from here, if I call the function print num is the function, and I have to call that so that it will give the result, right? And after that I'll return 0, do the return 0. So you see var1 and var, if I want to update var1 here, it is going to give error, and if I want to update var here, it is going to give error because it is not declared here. So it means var1 and var are different. Are you guys getting it? So if I save the code and if I run the code, so it should print what? The var is 8. It is printing var is 8. Var is 6. After that, in the next line, it is updated. So var is 8. Now if I change from 8 to 56, now if I save it, Control S, right click, run code. So that value is going to be var is 56. Same for main function also. var1 is, we are not printing it var1, that's why it is not giving result. So for var1, if you want to print, we have to write cout var1, so that is going to print 7. So this is what local variable is. Now we're going to see the global variable means. Global variable dot cpp. In this, we're going to write again the header file for that, hash include iostream. Alright, after that, using namespace std, and I'll write the main function int main, and I'll give the scope. Alright, now what I have to do is, global variable means that is declared globally, that is declared outside the function. So here I'll declare it. Suppose int num equals to 67. So this is what declared globally. Now if I create one function of void, and in the void I have to give the function name also. So print num, suppose, is the function name, and within the parenthesis I'm going to write something, suppose. So what is num I have written, right? So if I give num plus plus, it means what? Num equals to num plus 1. And if I do cout and I write value of num is what? I have to write what? Num. Value of num is num. So it is declared, num is declared outside, that is means it is a global variable. Global variable. Anyone can access it. This function or the main function also can access it. Now we're going to do from the main function. We want to access it from main function. So what I have to write? I have to write num plus plus. Alright. Now here what we'll do is I'll write cout and value of num is, what is the value? That is num. Value of num is num. Alright. This is done for this. I have to change here to double quotes now, and I have to delete this one. So value of num is num. Cout, this happens, and here what I have to call this function also, right? Print num, so that above also get printed. So print num, and I call that function. Alright, and at the last I'll return the statement, return the whole main. I'll hit Control S. Everything is done and I'll just run the code. So value of num is 68 and value of num is 69. So 67 we took, right? So this calling, this is what it updated to. Let's give some, let me give endl here so that it will be clearly visible. I'll Control S and I'll run the code. Okay, now you see value of num is 68. It was 67, it was declared. Now we wrote num plus plus. It means what? It is incrementing the value of num by 1. Num plus plus means what? Num equals to num plus 1. This we already know. So value of num is what now? 68. And we call the function. This calling of function done. Now here again num plus plus before printing. So 68 was the value. Now it should, from 68, one incrementation again happening. So that is becoming 69. It means value of num is 69. So that is going to be printed 69. So this is what global variable is. We can get this variable value in the user defined function, in the main function also. But in case of local variable, we saw that if we declare some variable that is available within the scope only, and if we define the same other variable in this user defined function, that is still able to, we get to access then that number within that scope. So this is the end of local variable, and we're going to end the session with the function here. Now we're going to start with new topic, that is going to be arrays and pointers. Thank you.